everybody, and welcome to another edition of Joe's Rod Shop Podcast. I'm your host, Joe van Zyl. So before we get started, guys, remember, click that like and subscribe button. Like we always say, it doesn't matter what platform you are on. There's always a like and subscribe, and then we can send these things through to you. This episode is brought to you by the V8 shop. If you are looking for V8 parts, all right, they're like the go-to guys. They're one of the longest running shops in the country. They know their stuff. Go check out the website at the v8shop.co.za, or go check out their social media page. They are going to be putting out a huge amount of special stuff in the up and coming week. So keep a lookout and see what's going to happen there. It's going to be great. Right, now, moving on. This weekend, the TV show starts. Yes, well, the Rod Shop, which we are now changing to RestoMod, is starting on Ignition this weekend. It's going to be a great show. There's so much happening. I've been on the road for the last few weeks, actually making sure that everything happens and everything looks great. So yeah, check out this weekend on Ignition. Obviously, we'll put everything out on social media and stuff all the times, so go check out the show, and I hope you guys enjoy it. Now, on to today's show. His name is Josh Allison. Now, Josh Allison, okay, is a bike builder, car builder in the US. And he has started a new shop called All American Customs. Now, if you haven't heard from him, you got to go check this guy out. Okay, he's built some of the most insane custom bikes that's out there. I mean, I'm looking at the list here. Born Free, Sturgis Bike Week. He was the shop manager at Orange County Customs. I mean, his work is absolutely phenomenal. Go check out the bike. The Disciple, we talk about it in the show. He is a great guy, really down to earth. Enjoy. Welcome to the show, man. I'm
Thank
so
you.
happy.
No, thank you for having me. It's an honor.
Dude, to get started, just do an introduction. Tell people who you are and what you do.
Okay, so my name is Josh Allison, and I lead up American Metal Customs. And American Metal Customs is an all-inclusive customization shop, and so we specialize in everything. What we do is full car builds, full bike builds, anything on the customizing end of it, whatever it is, whether it's high-end metal shaping, custom paint, custom interiors, design work, you name it. You know, we're a one-stop destination for all your car needs.
Dude, sorry, continue.
So, and then that's housed within the other bigger company called North American Motor Car. And what North American Motor Car is this world destination for car enthusiasts. And what that does is that provides all these services in-house where your car doesn't have to leave. So we have very high-end storage with a detail shop within it and a VIP lounge. We have a full service shop. And then we also buy and sell cars, and we do a bunch of sponsorship. We also have a huge, beautiful showroom floor that's always evolving. So no matter what events you want to do, whether it's like sometimes we'll have vintage hot rods, we'll have the history of Harley, NASCAR racing, that'll be staged in there. And then we have the Glamour and Grit Lounge in-house too, which is going to host events and parties as well. So within these two companies, no matter who you are in the world, no matter what you want to do, you can come to our world-class, facility, and anything that you can dream of, man, we're going to execute.
Yeah, you didn't leave a lot out there. Hey, I mean, like, you guys are doing everything.
Yeah, it's a very, very special thing. And, working with Chris and his vision, just try to create, once again, this world destination for car and bike enthusiasts. Not everybody's doing this to where you can seriously go somewhere and all your dreams can literally
come true.
Be fulfilled, man.
But I mean, okay, so obviously after we started setting this up, I went and stalked you even more. I don't think that was even possible. The YouTube channel is beautiful. That is some of the best production I have seen. I mean,
thank you.
It is absolutely stunning. I'm going to put all the links and stuff on so guys can go check it out. And then, is that the Disciple behind you on that photo?
Yeah, so the Disciple is the latest video we just dropped, and that was a little bit of a background on me and my vision when I built the Disciple. And we have an amazing production team here, an awesome crew that we get to work with every single day. And so it's really cool here too, because we can be as creative as we absolutely want. So it was really fun to be able to shoot this content at that level and tell these stories. There's so much connectivity with, why the bike got built, who I am. And if you look at the other videos, me and Chris, the faithful keepers, why we're purchasing these vintage hot rods and bikes, why we want to preserve our history and whatnot. So
Oh,
YouTube is an awesome platform in a way that we can really express ourselves differently from just like pictures you see on social media and stuff.
but you hit the nail on the head. I always said the biggest thing for me about hot rods is the history. It's that
Absolutely.
this piece of metal that's been out there for 70, 80, 90, 100 years, and
Yeah.
it's seen everything in the world, and and it's just this object that's just been standing there.
It's such a story, right?
Yeah.
And I always say, if these bikes and cars could talk, oh my God, the stories they would tell. And if you look at our history, especially if you look at like Harley Davidson and the knucklehead area, those are post-war and pre-war motorcycles that got to see wars. They got shipped overseas. There was so much that these motorcycles and cars did, and it's such a part of our history that it's amazing when you find them, especially the cool barn finds and shit. It's awesome, man.
But now coming back to you and your history, I mean, so I checked out, you built stuff for Stooges. You worked with Orange County Choppers. I mean, you were everywhere.
Yeah, I've been very fortunate in my career. I've always had a huge passion for all this stuff ever since I was a kid. I grew up with my old man riding Harleys, and he loved cars as well, and it kind of just stuck with me. And so it was always something I kind of tinker on and did in my garage. And I got a little bit, as I dug into it more and more, it was like, man, I really want to turn this into more than a passion. I want to turn it into a career. So I went to Wyotech in Laramie, Wyoming, and I took a bunch of classes. I took ASM, collision and refinishing, custom paint, and then in the end, I got into street rod and advanced street rod, and it like blew my mind. I had no idea about TIG welding and metal shaping, and so I was really lucky to graduate. And then in Colorado, where I'm originally from, I got into some amazing shops. Mill from Tin Element hired me on, and it really blew my mind. I mean, those guys were bodying by hand custom aluminum Porsches. I mean, the metal shaping in the building was at such a level, and it really provoked me. And like, holy crap, this is what I want to do. And I kind of leaned towards the more vintage hot rod side, and I was able to work at Pinky's. I spent 7 years at the Forge, and all those opportunities, and years of growth led me to where I eventually wanted to do my own thing. So I started Crybaby Cycles, and that was cars and bikes, once again focusing on metal shaping, very high end design and one-off bikes. And that opened up the door to go to Orange County Choppers, and I spent 2 years there, and that was a blast. It was a trip shooting TV, and I did a little bit of TV in LA before that. I did a series called Wrench Against the Machine, and that was really fun.
I've seen that.
And yeah, I was on an episode with Justin and Chaston, and that was a great time. And so I really had a passion for that too. I loved it's fun to film, it's fun to do TV. So Orange County Choppers was a lot of fun, and through that's where I met Chris, and came on here. So my career has been a wild ride, man, and I've able to do a lot. But I think that has been a big point of it's helped me grow. It's pushed me in a lot of ways and really made me into the builder I am today.
That's it. Coming back to the disciples. Oh, sorry, I had to change video. Like I said, I've been on the road. Coming back to the disciple, the attention to detail on that bike is phenomenal. It's like,
thank you.
You can stare. I mean, obviously, I've only seen it in videos, but you can stare at that bike for hours because every time you look at it, there's like something new. There's something you didn't see.
And so to me, that's like the biggest compliment I can get from people. It's like, it's cool when people say, oh, that bike or that car is badass, but it's, as we all know, the devil's in the details. And I spend so much of my time on those little details that a lot of people don't see, but that's what makes the bike. That's what makes it more than just another motorcycle. And that's what we do here, and that's what I spent my career doing, is whether it's a car, whether it's a motorcycle, no matter what that is, digging deeper into just the whole thing. What's the little things? What's the details on the tank? What's the little parts that hell no one even sees? I think that's what takes it to that next level.
We always said, you're working with a real gearhead when he makes a bracket in for an area on a car or bike that no one will ever see, and he makes it to perfection. And then people go, but why are you doing that? And it's like, no one will know. It's like, I know. That's the difference. That
You just said it, and I think you just nailed it right there. You know, that's the definite difference between craftsmanship and just, just let's build something. And I think that for the builder that matters, but I think for me even more so on a motorcycle. Motorcycles are so exposed, and
Mm.
that's what I think one of the things I was always drawn to. And one, I love riding. It's been a huge passion of mine my whole life, but it's the beauty about it. Everything you can see, you can't hide anything, you can't bullshit anything, it's all there. So it almost forces you into a certain degree of raising up your game, and all those little parts, matter. And
Exactly.
the industry right now, I mean, there are some builders that are just woo, killing it on that stuff, and
Mm.
so it's really cool. And I think when you see other builders that are pushing it, it pushes you, it elevates everybody constantly.
But I've seen, I mean, look, I've been in the hot rod industry. But then again, I've been in South Africa, and we're pretty
Okay.
fucking far away from you guys. But I've seen over the last 10 years how the development started going back to massive fabrication. I mean, it's
Yeah.
if
Yeah.
you're talking hot rod, it's like back to Ethrod,
Yeah.
Ed Rod, and these type of guys, where it's all
Oh,
about
crazy.
design.
Yeah.
That everything, it's like all that attention to detail coming in.
Yeah.
Whether you doing a cars, you're looking at stuff at SEMA, or I mean, I've seen race cars, like drag cars, built at better perfection than I've seen like show cars. And
Yeah.
it's just because the guys are just, it's just that passion is there, you know?
Yeah, and I think you're right. I've seen, we talk about that a lot. The change in building, the expectations in building, it's completely changed, and the growth. But once again, it goes back to where, we're all in this together. We all go to the same shows, and we're showing the same stuff together. So, you don't want to show up with nothing. So when you see a guy over here doing it, you're like, oh man, now I want to do it, or I got, and it just elevates everybody. And I think it's not a competition thing. It's a beautiful thing,
Yeah, but it
when the
makes you
industry
raise your
grows
game.
and pushes. Huh?
I, and raise your game. I always say I mean, I love competition because
Yeah.
competition makes you better.
it,
Okay.
it does it does, yeah, it really
Because
does. And I think that it pushes people.
so when you rock up and you think you did something and it's amazing, and then someone pulls on a bike and you're like, holy shit,
Yeah,
look at this
you
thing.
nailed
And
it.
it's like, okay, we're going back and we're going again, and we're going better,
Yeah.
and you improve your skill. And I mean, that's what I love about this industry. That is
Yeah.
absolutely, whether it's the what's it, strive for perfection, strive for the fastest, or anything, everything in this industry always pushes. And I don't think a lot of guys see
Yeah.
it that way. It's
No,
not
I
about
think
the
it's a
money.
great. Oh God, if it was about the money, why would anybody do it? Yeah, yeah. It's about the craft, and it
Mm.
truly is. And I think that's a super important thing. The builders that are doing it right, it's because they're truly passionate. It's not about anything else. And you talk about going to shows and seeing another guy's bike. You don't even have to go to a show now to see that. With all the social media stuff and Instagram, every time I'm on Instagram, someone blows my mind. There's always some dude. You're like really, dude. It's so amazing that it always, every time you get back in the shop, you're like, well, shit, now I got to do something. So it's a cool thing. But Instagram and social media has changed that. I mean, intensely.
What I love is when you're on Instagram and you see a bike or you see a car, and then you find out it's sitting in Thailand or
Yeah. Oh my god.
some
Yeah.
area, and you're like, they built that fucking where?
Oh
How?
my god. Yeah. Some of the like Japanese, Indonesia builders right now, like I'll see a bike and I'm like, I don't even know how they do it. And then you see where they're building and you're like, what? There's not even any tools. Like, what do you like? How you doing this? And it's such, it's all driven off passion and the trade. And when you put your heart into something like that, that's how you do it, man. But yeah, there's things going on all over the world that just never cease to just amaze me, man.
So now coming back to you guys, and you got the new shop, you've got the YouTube channel, and we got to pump those numbers up, dude, because like I said, you guys really got to go see it. It's absolutely beautiful. The bikes and stuff, and the story that sits behind it. What's next? Where are you guys going?
Well, so I mean, it's coming into once we get past a little bit more weather here, we go into showtime, and so You know, we did fuel, we did trog. We're planning on doing some stuff kind of, you know, April, March. We're going to come into Born Free. We're a huge
Nice.
sponsor of Born Free this year, you know, the biggest chopper show that I know of, especially in the
Yes.
States. So we're coming in hard there. And, you know, we got a lot of stuff always moving here, whether it's a car and a bike. You know, we're trying to finish up a 1966 Chevy panel truck that's all bagged, laid out, you know, mob steel rims on it, very custom. And there's just a ton of different avenues, you know, and that's the thing here with us. We're not limiting ourselves to one thing. And so no matter what, we're executing on all these different levels, you know, Millie Pebble Beach, we want to be a part of it all, man. And we have a world-class team here that we can do that with. So a very busy year. This is our big launch year officially with the new shop. So we're going to have a huge open house, hopefully in June, you know, and I've been doing this a long time, but we just launched American Metal. It hasn't been that long. It's only been a couple months. So, you know, we're going to be pushing hard on that YouTube channel with a bunch of new content that we got coming out.
Nice.
We're going to do some more spotlights on builds, cars and bikes, and keep telling these stories that, you know, that we feel like is important. And we want our, you know, the people that connect with us to be able to look deeper into us. You know, what is this company really? What are they about? Well, what are they really doing, and who are these people? I think that's a story that more people want in this industry.
Yeah.
You know, I always do on all the people that I look up to or look, you know, that find, you know, hey, this is awesome. I look into them. What is this guy? What is he doing? Where did he come from? And so I think that we want to tell these stories, you know, there's a lot to be told here.
Dude, all the best for what you guys want to do. With that said, so what was it this week? Was it George Barris? 51 Merc?
Yes. Yeah.
Biggest?
What was that?
2.2, was it $2.2 million?
Yeah, I saw two things. That I think it was, but I know before fees it was 1.9 million.
Oh man.
But that car is the most iconic, you know, Merc ever. It like set the standard. It set the page, man. So
I saw that. I was like, wow. I mean, that is crazy, huge, right? For the riding industry, man. That's
what we said. What a big success for the industry, right?
Yeah.
Amazing.
Because that puts that on like special Ferrari level, you know?
Oh my god.
Like,
yeah, I mean,
who's gonna top that? Exactly. This is like one of 3 Ferrari money that the guys are doing, and that means that is actually achievable from a building standard, you know?
Yeah. No, absolutely. And you know, for me, I really look at builds like that, though, you know, what we call super iconic legend builds of what we do now lives on. Yeah. And I think that's part of our story in the past that we love here is, you know, when they built that car, they're just trying to build a kick-ass car, you know, and now look, we were laughing about that when, you know, we all heard the news of they never would have said, oh man, at some point we're going to get $2 million for this car. You're just trying to do what you love. But if you do what you love and you do it well, it lives on in time, man.
Exactly.
So I think there's so many lessons that car could teach people.
But I'm telling you what's going to start happen now is every big hot rod from the 60s, 70s, 80s, crazy, everyone's going to find them. They're going to take them back to original, to how they were, and get those way out paint jobs and all the shitload of chrome everywhere. Oh, it's going to be beautiful.
Hey, you know, a big part of when I was at the Forge, you know, which used to be Custom Auto, owned by Dave Krause, you know, that shop was around for 25 years before he sold it. And what Custom Auto's big thing was going around finding history cars, restoring them, putting that history behind it. And I mean, it was amazing. And some of the cars that went through that place that were brought back to life, and those backstories that, like, you know, David Still and the American, you know, his foundation that they're doing, it's absolutely amazing. And those stories should live on. You know, I think so much of that stuff is just absolutely amazing, you know. And so, yeah, these history cars, they're out there and they should be redone, you know.
Netflix should do a series on the cars that shaped the world. You know, car builders, and these to me that should be on Netflix, where you identify these iconic car builders that built the cars that built the hot rod industry.
Yeah. Well, like I was saying, I mean, if you got guys like David Still that have, you know, the American Hot Rod Foundation, and they're going around and they're documenting these guys. They're talking about this stuff. They're telling these stories because it should be, you know, once again, it's such a big part of our history
Exactly.
and this industry that's still around and thriving, and hopefully that keeps going on, you know,
Exactly.
and hopefully one day, you know, we can all be a part of that when we get old, and we
Well,
can pass our trade down, and we can keep this going on, and you know, we can look back at the things we did that, you know, hopefully live on, you know.
that was iconic. So it was an absolute pleasure talking to you. But all the
Wow,
best
man, thank you
going
for
forward,
having me.
man.
Thank you so much, man.
My pleasure. It's an absolute honor speaking to you. And good luck with the shop. Push those videos, dude. Push those videos.
And everybody out there, man, we have all the socials. You can go to AmericanMetal.com, check out the website. You can go to American Metal Customs on Instagram, Facebook. You can go to my personal page, Joshua8787. We all have link trees, and American Metal Customs on YouTube, man. And we just started that channel, so we want to build it up, man. And you can also go to NorthAmericanMotorcar.com too. All the information on our facility, all of it's there, and we're about ready to blow it up this year, big time, man.
I will link all that shit up on the page so when we put it out. Man,
well, thank you for the support, man. We appreciate it, and the love. Mad respect back to you and what you've done, dude. Keep tearing it up, dude. You're doing a good job.
Thanks, man. All right, you have a good one. Cheers.
Yeah, you too, man. Thank you.
Bye.